Wagwan traders, yeah, the traders here again. So I decided now to actually give you guys a quick weekly update. This is Sunday, so where I think the market will move during the week. So apart from the daily updates I will give you, because on a daily basis we want to see what's going on, but I'm kind of looking at giving a little, weekly glance as to where I think the stock will move. So if you look at my chart here, remember last week we had mentioned that we're going to hit a big resistance, which is right here at 46 cents. And then we drew this orange line, which was the old support, which is now the new resistance. So it's around this range here. So if you take a look here, if I zoom out, this is what I'm talking about here, guys. That's the old support, which will now become our new major resistance. So based on where we were, let me just zoom back out a little bit, where before we had predicted that the stock is going to run up. It's going to test the resistance here, and there will be a pullback. So I'd ask the question, will you guys hold? Will you guys sell whenever I touch this level? So we have been watching this stock from all the way from when it was 18 cents. So now it's at, it went up almost to 50 cents. So that's basically, over 200% increase right there. But with all stocks, there has to be a pullback. And the pullback, what it does is give other persons who are not in the stock a chance to actually get in if they want to get in. This is not financial advice, but pullbacks are always good, guys. We don't want to see the stock run all the way up and then drop all the way back down, okay? So pullbacks are always good. So one viewer had mentioned that they will hold at this level because guess what? I think that person is thinking long term, where I would say early days in terms of where this stock will go. Okay, so we have pulled back a bit down to a previous level of support, which is around here. But I'm going to give you guys a little glance at where I think the stock will go for maybe this week. So I'm going to just switch over to my paint here. So this is kind of what I'm looking at here, guys. So I've kind of drawn up the stock chart based on my yellow trend line for the top, yellow trend line for the bottom. So I'm thinking the stock will move within this range. Okay, I've also added time frames. So if you look here, the broken gray lines are time frames in terms of weekly. So the dark lines here represents a trading day, while the thicker grays represents aftermarket and pre-market. So what I'm basically doing here is saying this will be week 1, week 2, week 3. All right, so let's take a look here. Let me just grab my pen. Let me take a look and see where I think the stock will go. So next week, so let me change the color here to maybe blue. Oops. Don't know why this thing want to give me a little bit of trouble here, but let's see if I can do this. Okay, gotcha. So what I think the stock will do for next week is actually it will basically consolidate within this level here. Worst case, it may push back down to this level, but it will consolidate. Sorry, let me just back up a bit. Let me just take this out, guys, because I've now gone into week 2. So what I think the stock will do, will consolidate a bit in this week, and then for after 20th, remember we had said that there's a high level of call options coming in. So I think we're going to get a pop back up to test this resistance here. Chances are, based on the volume that comes in, we may get a pop through the resistance there, or if there's a pullback, at least we'll be within that range between here and here, which will be the original resistance, where we'll be now on the new support. And once we get the consolidation within this level, which is week 3, then we know that the stock will pop above the old support, which will be our current resistance. And once it pops above the old support, then you could see the stock starting to run again, guys. So let's take a look here back at the charts. So the old support is here. Once we pop through there, then we're looking at basically the next level of resistance will be at this level here, which will be 60 cents, and it will have basically a long way to go. But as I've always said, let's work with what the stock gives us in terms of the trend. Let's not try to predict too early where it will go, but we know that volume is coming in and the stock will move. So let's take a look at what's going on with Yahoo Finance. So yeah, on Yahoo Finance, the stock had pulled back around 10%. Well, you know what? I don't mind that. That's after giving up maybe around 50% from where we left it last week. Remember, there were 2 consecutive days of around 20+%, pre-market 9%, so we don't mind that. Market cap, it's at 626 million, guys. We're coming from all the way from 300 back in just a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at the stock. So it's now at 626 million, and volume is coming in, guys. Volume is coming in. The stock compared to others, I think it's doing pretty well, because other stocks are pulling back now, compared to Mullen that has not pulled back that much. So if we look at the options, as you can see, the option calls have grown tremendously. Remember, at 30,000 calls, we had gotten a huge pop-up. Look at this now. We are now at 182,000 calls. So the pop-up that I am mentioning, maybe you guys that was with me before, the pop-up with 30,000 calls was right here, when the stock popped from 18 all the way up to 40. So for currently, we are like 6 times that amount of call volumes coming in. If we look at the open interest in terms of the options for this week, it's 18,000. That stepped up a bit. I think it was around 13,000 before. January 20th, we are at 74,000. So there's a lot more interest coming in for not this week, but next week. And I think there are some news that will be coming in with regards to stocks, not stock splits, but maybe dilution of stocks in terms of issuing some Class D shares. And the Class D shares may be valued between 10 cents all the way to $1.27. So it all depends on what price they will be issued at. The higher the price is issued at, the higher the stock will go. All right, call interest for the 27th of January comes back down. So between now and next week, there's going to be a lot of activities, guys. So keep an eye open. So as per usual, if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you want me to continue doing this type of quick updates for you guys. And also I give quick updates, first thing in the morning, even before the stock market opens. So you want to get that early notification, so don't forget to subscribe. All right, that's it for now, guys. Take care.